So I'm on my way back from Texas right now after trying to do a podcast with Joe Rogan, right? And I can tell you, it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. First of all, I had guidelines upon what I could and couldn't say on the show, right? Specifically talking about the J word, and I'm sure you know what word I'm talking about. But I was literally given talking points, even though I was under the impression that we could speak about basically anything. But when it comes to one specific group, Joe Rogan doesn't want to talk about that. Now, Rogan knew who I was and mentioned some of my ex content that went viral, right? And this man asked me if I'm you know what I mean. And I looked at him kind of dumbfounded and I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you seem to think that the J word controls everything. And I'm like, and I looked at him and asked him very politely, like, are you serious or is this a joke? And I asked him, well, how do you not know that considering everything that you talk about? And he didn't answer the question. He proceeded to say that I sound stupid and that I didn't have any proof. So I proceeded to show him everything that I've shown everybody else, especially on X, for the past year now. And he still wanted to act as if I knew nothing, even though I was showing him everything very clearly. This man was literally trying to convince me that I'm some Neo, you know what I mean? I have security around me when I go to places like this, okay? And that might sound stupid, but you never know what could happen to you. Especially with somebody like that, knowing exactly who I am and who I'm the grandchild of, you know what I mean? And Rogan wanted to proceed to tell me that we're not talking about some stupid shit on his show, even though that wasn't the topic I wanted to touch upon to begin with. He brought it up. He brought up my ex content, and so I defended myself. And I'm kind of a loud person when I get mad sometimes. I don't really give a fuck who you are, you know what I mean? And when I tell you tensions rose in this motherfucking small-ass studio, I truly mean that. And then this guy named Jamie tried to come into the studio and intervene. I was pissed the fuck off because how the fuck are you gonna make me come all the way to Texas and somehow we're not on the same page? You know how the world works, so how the fuck don't you have the same opinion as I do? So I called him the fuck out for it and I told him that he sounds like a real shill right now. So then he told his people to escort me and my team outside the building. And that's when things got really fucking awkward. Because at this point, you have all 10 of us going at it with each other. And if you're gonna waste my time, then I'm gonna call you the fuck out. He wanted to act oblivious to this one specific topic, and I find that really fucking suspicious. Why is it a fucking problem for you to talk about that group? I mean, this man literally wanted to talk about the UFO hearings coming up. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? If I'm going to come on a podcast that big, I want to expose everything. You feel me? Because that's what those podcasts are for. Am I wrong? I was not fucking with that energy at all. So I just declined to do the fucking podcast. There's no reason to fucking do it anyway. But see, that moment right there proved to me who Joe Rogan really fucking is. Especially after seeing his podcast that I never watched before months ago, where he was talking about the same fucking thing, calling people just like me crazy for the way that I think. And it's crazy because he assumes that I'm a nobody. And see, that's fine because soon I'm going to be exposing everybody, including Joe Rogan and even the UFC. I wasted 2 days of my time and my own money just for him to show his true colors to me. And I can guarantee that I'm not going on any podcast unless me and that other person can agree on one specific fucking thing. That one thing being who we know is truly in control, you feel me? Because what I had to experience yesterday after I was so fucking excited is such fucking bullshit. And at this point, I'm just pissed the fuck off, man.